Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Cutting Through the Bullshit. I am your host, Dr. Stephanie Snyder, and I am a high performance mentor. Through my unique blend of strategy, mindset, and intuition, I help men and women to cut through the BS in order to create the life and business they desire. If you are catching me on YouTube here, as I prefaced in the last episode, my kids are home for Christmas break, so I am in my bedroom with the door locked, hoping that they will be semi-quiet as I record these episodes. If you hear them in the background, this is just real life. You're getting it. Today, so on the last episode, I talked about this shift around boundaries. And this next shift that I want to talk about is between obligation and opportunity. And this is something that has been coming up for me the last couple of weeks because, one, as we gear up for the holidays, it feels like we have a lot of obligations, a lot of things that we have to do in order for X, Y, and Z, right? And I was feeling some resistance around these obligations because I was like, oh, I don't really want to do that thing. I don't really want to do this thing. That just feels heavy to me. I don't really want to. And the truth was, I was seeing many of these things as obligations, things that I had to do instead of things that I got to do. And that is a very different mindset shift. Between having to do something and getting to do something is the same kind of shift between doing something out of fear and doing something out of love. And so there are a lot of things that we should do throughout the day. I use air quotes there, right? You're probably constantly bombarded with, you should eat healthy, you should work out, you should not drink as much, you should save more money, you should pay off debt, you should be kinder to people, you should all these other things, right? So there's all of these things that we should be doing in order to be considered by society a great person, right? And that list can get really long very quickly. And I know because I've been there, where my to-do list was so long that I fell into bed every night just feeling like an absolute failure. And when that list gets too long, there may be some point where you're like, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to do any of it. And then you kind of fall off the deep end. And that's not really great either. And so when it comes to kind of switching between this obligation versus the opportunity, a really great question to ask yourself is why? Why are you doing this thing? Are you doing this thing because you love it? Are you doing it because you like it? Are you doing it because you hate it and someone told you that you should do it? Right? If you're not entirely sure why you're doing the thing, you're really going to struggle to see the opportunity in it. It will feel like an obligation to you. But when you start to see the opportunity there, for instance, this podcast, this YouTube channel, is an opportunity for me to have lots of conversations with my potential, or with my audience, right? Potential clients. This is, as one of my mentors says, this is my community service. This is how I give back. By giving you these little snippets, I love these short little videos that I do. My short little podcast episodes. They're great little nuggets where we dive into one concept. I try not to go down too many rabbit trails in order for you to get something in a very short period of time. Because I could be very verbose. Is that the right word? I think I used the wrong word. This is real life. I could use a lot of words and over-explain. However, I remember reading this book one time, and the writer said, anyone can make something complicated. It takes a genius to make it simple. And so I like to keep these things short and simple and sweet so that you can digest it easily and it can start to take an impact in your life right away. And I enjoy this. The reason I do these is because I enjoy it. It is not because I have to do it. If I had to do it, that would be a very different energy coming to you. You'd be like, for instance, if I had to do this, I'd be like, okay, so we're going to talk about obligations versus opportunity, right? And I have notes on it, so let me make sure that my notes are good. And like, That's a very different energy than, hey, let's have a conversation about this because it's coming up for me and maybe coming up for you. So, in terms of these obligations versus opportunities, I'm sure if you've been in the personal development world for any period of time, you've heard the it's not you get to, it's not you have to, it's you get to. Very easy way to look at that. But to go a little bit deeper, because yes, you could say, hey, actually, I get to do this thing. But to go a little bit deeper, knowing why is really just going to break you open. Because why begins to show up for yourself first. And I remember early on, my first brand was Overjoyed Moms. I still have the Facebook group. It is up and running, operational. If you want to join us, please do. I remember one of the first like substantial posts that I had that got a lot of traction was, my kids are my reason, not my excuse. Because for years I used them as an excuse. They were the reason that I couldn't grow a successful business. They were the reason I didn't have any time for they were the excuse rather. They were excuse for not growing a business. They were the excuse for why I didn't have time for myself. They were excuses to why I wasn't spending time with my husband, all these things, right? And then what shifted was I realized that there are 8 eyeballs watching me very, very closely. And I have the beautiful opportunity of being one of the greatest impactors of their entire lives. And so that all of a sudden they became my reason. I was growing a successful business because my kids were watching me. I started to do self-care because my kids were watching me. I made my relationship with my husband a priority because I wanted them to see what that would look like. I began to do the things because I wanted them to see what it was like on the other side. I wanted them to see what this looked like and that looked like and all these other things, that they became the reason as opposed to the excuse. And so that's why I really want to challenge you to dig a little bit deeper. If you have a very long to-do list, I want you to ask yourself why. Why are you doing all of those things? And if you're not entirely sure why, that's a great place to start digging. Because at some point, right, I remember realizing this, that at some point I was doing it all simply for external validation. And it turns out that's never enough. There will never be enough external validation, ever, 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 ever in the entire world. It had to come from me first, saying, hey, I'm proud of myself, I'm doing a great job. It became internalized. And so as much as my kids are the reason for me making changes, sharing these kinds of things, helping other moms do the same, it's because I love myself that way. I am a better person when I have a really strong why, and I'm not just kind of floating through space, hoping that things will work out. When there's a purpose there in mind, it changes things. And so being able to shift from an obligation to an opportunity changes your whole vibration. It's no longer I have to, it's I get to. And people show up very differently when they get to. If you need more information on this, I have some previous episodes where I talk about need versus want. That is a very different energy shift as well, very similar to opportunity and obligation. And so if you're looking for, right, this is something I see a lot in a lot of mom Facebook groups, unfortunately. There's a lot of, I have all of these obligations and nobody's hiring me. No, there's nothing, there's no work that I can do, all these other things. And I'm here to tell you there are a million ways to make money right now that don't require a whole lot of education. It requires you to essentially have a phone. But there are I see on a given day anywhere between 5 and 20 different opportunities to make good money in the online space. And now with AI, there is no reason whatsoever that a stay-at-home mom cannot carve out an hour a day to start to make a difference financially in their lives. And that, I believe that 1,000%. There's no reason for it. So I'm going to sign off here. If you need help looking for something, if you are looking for something to help fill the gap financially as a stay-at-home mom, reach out to me. I will send you, I think I actually have this on my website. I have a free guide called Mummies Making Money with Ease. And it has a list of at least 20 different ways that you can begin to make money online. That is going to be huge moving into the new year if you can add a little bit more to your financials. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you have questions about that, please reach out to me. I'll send you that free guide. And if you're looking for expanding your business, not just starting one, if you're looking to expand your business, I would love to have a conversation with you. That is what I help my private clients do. They are already established and they're looking to expand their business while still being a present mom. That is part of the work that I do, as well as just general life coaching. That is also what I do, because your relationship with yourself is mirrored by all the other relationships that you have in your life. And all starts there with you. So I'm sending you a lot of love. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you. I think I'll have one more go live before the new year, maybe? No, I think the next episode will go live on New Year's Day, if I can get it recorded in time. So if you don't see me until after the first of the year, don't panic. I will be there. We're just spending some more quality time with my kiddos over Christmas break. So I'm sending you lots of love. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, be you, because the world needs more of you. Bye.